Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For all my viewers in the US, I hope you had a good time with your family celebrating this Thanksgiving and also enjoyed Flat Black Friday. But now we're getting back into the hang of things. And today I want to talk about another project out of the Cosmos ecosystem. We talked about C, and we on this channel we like C. I think it has a lot of promise, but there's another one called Kujira. Kujira. I've been hearing a little bit about it, so I decided to take a look. Now is the time when you try to find some gems, those coins that can 20x, 30x, 40x, and help that portfolio grow. So I'm gonna take a look into Kujira to see if that's one of those gems. So if that's something that interests you and you like the video, you learned something, please hit that like button. If you want to see more of my content, subscribe to the channel. So let's get into Kujira. Let's see what we got. So looking at coin market cap, currently Kujira sits at 218. Current price at the time of the video is $3.15. And if we look at the market cap, it only has a market cap of 385 million, which means if the thing catches on during the next bull cycle, there are some gains to be made here. Definitely. Most importantly, let's take a look here. If I expand it out a little bit, Kujira has a circulating supply of 122 million. You hear that, guys? 122 million. And you're probably thinking, well, okay, so what? If we look at the total supply, total supply is 122, the same amount. So everything's out there. It's all in circulation. So you don't have to worry about inflation. And that was the first thing that struck my attention. I was like, wow, this decent tokenomics for this project. So for those of you who don't know, Kujira started part of Terra. It was on the Terra ecosystem, and then right before Terra collapsed and all of that happened, they were already looking to exit. So although a lot of projects failed with Terra ecosystem, they were already had an exit and exit liquidity and all, so they didn't lose much money. They moved over to Cosmos, like we just mentioned, and that's positive. So basically, their claim or how they separate themselves from others, they're basically a marketplace. How would you say, for liquid collateral? It's a better way of saying they purchase or allows you to buy bad debt. So a lot of futures trading and a lot of stuff like that. And again, if you watch the channel, I think some of the big themes of the next bull cycle will be, DeFi, future perpetuals, AI, and gaming. If you can knock those three out, then you have something going on with your chain. So that is also good for, I like their space. I like what they're in. They're on Cosmos, so that's good. They with the SDK for security, and also they're in DeFi, so that's very, very positive. And then, like we're just looking at now, they have good tokenomics as far as lack of inflation. So what you see out there is what it is, and I like that a lot. So let's see what happens. So again, they're at $3.16. So we'll keep looking at that. So here's an article I saw about Kujira. It's very informative. Like we just mentioned, it's a Cosmos-based project. It aims to make advanced DeFi strategies more accessible to retail investors. It has been on a tear over the past month. Again, you got to make DeFi accessible for newbies. A lot of people that don't want to get into crypto, maybe they thought about it, but don't want to get it because it's too complicated. If you have an app, a DApp out there that's easy for people to use, I think that can add adoption. It could definitely help adoption here. So Kuji, Kugi, is their governance token, and it has rocketed up over 430% in the past 30 days, while the TVL in the ecosystem has risen from 16 million in early September to 86 million today. The growth. So we know overall in the crypto space, things have been pumping, but if it did this now, we're not even in peak bull season. What do you think is going to happen when we are in peak bull season? Just something to think about. The growth has been driven by the heightened activity on Ghost, a money market similar to Aave, and increased adoption of USK, which is their ecosystem's native stablecoin. USK, remember that. USK is an over-collateralized stablecoin that can be minted against various crypto assets. Think Wrapped, Solana, Wrapped, Polygon, that type of stuff. Borrowing USK, notably, the current interest rate charged to USK borrowers is just 1%, making it much cheaper to access established stablecoins like DAO or USDC. This could explain why DeFi traders have been piling in to access inexpensive leverage as signs of the next bull cycle emerge. While liquidity is minted, it's adequate for small investors that Kujira aims to serve. So interest 1% versus the others that are charging more than that. Again, what separates it from its peers? That's one thing right there. That, and not to mention tokenomics like we just talked about. For comparison, borrowing stablecoins against Lido's ST ETH currently costs anywhere from 2 to 6% versus the 1% we just talked about, according to DeFi Llama. Amid the recent surge in activity, it appears that traders are currently favoring buying USK on secondary markets instead of minting it, causing it to trade at a 2% premium. Arbitrageurs are expected to mint USK at $1 and sell it for $1.02, closing to close the gap. Here's a little chart of that. And then here we goes Kuji, which is the native token, or the governance token, native token. On number 9th, the last tranche of vested Kuji tokens were unlocked, meaning that the total supply of roughly 122 million Kuji tokens are now in circulation. And we already talked about that. And this is something that I liked. As far as their mantra, their motto, Kujira, what it stands for, I believe, stands for whale, right? And we all know in the crypto space what a whale means. It's born out of the ashes of Terra, whose USDT stablecoin imploded last year, causing over 40 billion in investor losses. The team behind Kujira said that it wanted to democratize access to sophisticated DeFi tools after seeing retail investors' collateral liquidated on Anchor by a group of elites. Indeed, Kujira is the word for whale, like we just said. Orca app, which is on the Kujira page that we'll take a look at, serves the purpose that in the Kujira ecosystem, allowing anyone to bid on liquidated collateral. Fin is the main decentralized exchange, DEX, which also happens to be Cosmos' first completely on-chain exchange leveraging order books. So tokenomics we talked about, but to take a look at it, it says the tokenomics are designed to be self-sustaining without the need for additional token emissions. Kuji stakers accrue 100% of protocol fees. Again, 100% of protocol fees, which has led to an influx of stakers as activity increases. Over half the Kuji supply is currently staked. Again, over half of it is currently staked. So tokenomics in this project I like a lot. The number of Kujira stakers, or users rather, spiked in August and has been trending higher ever since. And take a look at those wallets. So looking ahead, what they plan to do, they want to get into perpetual future business, one of the themes that I talked about, with more traders turning to decentralized perp exchanges like DYDX and GMX. GMX has been on the tear, very, very strong. A successful product could generate substantial avenue or revenue for Kuji stakers in the future. So guys, we just talked about that, and I've highlighted a lot of good things about this project. So far, sounds good. Now, I will talk about one zonk that I don't like about this, is the founders. The founders are kind of incognito, right? They're involved, but they don't want you to know who they are. I like to know the history, who founded it, what their business history is like. Have they rug pulled before? Have they been successful in the pool before? What's their education like? Are they anything about blockchain? Here, no matter what I look at, all I can see is their Twitter handles. I don't have a last name, and you have certain articles quoting these guys as far as what they plan to do with the project in the future, but nothing as far as historical goes that I can find out about these guys, and that is kind of concerning to me. So, for instance, Dove is the CEO, public face of Kujira. And if you go on his Twitter page, he's about 6,200 followers. Basically a lot of articles about about the future, different things with the website, what they're planning to do with the chain, but nothing with him, right? And I would like to see a face, like to know his history, where he came from, anything, but nothing. Another one, smart contract developer for Kujira, Hans. That's not him, but again, 3,000 followers. So that's a bit concerning, right? That's a bit concerning. But we'll see. Next, take a look at, since we're talking about the Twitter followers, what type of traction they have. As far as Twitter followers, they only have 91,000. Yeah, so not over 100,000 yet. But they're followed by some people in the space. So people are starting to pay attention to it. But again, If you want to get into a project, you don't want to get into a project when everyone is already in it and FOMOing. You want to be one of the early people in it. That way, when it bumps, you can start selling and you make your profits, right? But right now, it's pretty early for this project as far as the traction goes. Discord, they only have about 10,000 members. Went on Discord. It is active. It's not like one of those dead Discord pages, so that's good too. And especially with the FOMO coming in, not really FOMO, but the activity and increased recognition, there's more activity on Discord. Now, if we look at DeFi Llama, as far as total TVL locked up, it is currently sits at number 29 with 81 million total value locked. And you compare that, it sits above Aptos, sits above Algorand, sits above Phantom, which I like, sits above Near, Hedera. So, you know, as far as TVL goes and what it's trying to accomplish, it's there. It's catching on. So it's another positive things for this project. Let's take a look and see what's driving the TVL. As far as that goes, you see Kujira protocol is pretty much the bang. Then you have Eris protocol, Maya protocol, but it looks like Kujira protocol, the TVL, that's where most of it is at, 80 million. So looking good, looking good. Let's see here. If we also, let's take a look at core developers and commits. So if we look at the commits for Kujira, you see right now there are about 200 commits. As far as core developers go, so not the greatest, but hey, it's not a dead chain, right? Things are looking positive. The trajectory is going up, and that's what you want to see. So now let's take a look at the website itself. Website very easy to navigate. I like it. Here it just basically shows the IBC bridge. So basically you could communicate with most of the projects on the Cosmos ecosystem. So you have your Kujira versus C versus Injective. So that's good. You know, the communication, that's what you want to see as well. So that's the Cosmos IBC transfer. Then they have the XLR bridge, which helps communicate with different bridges as well, with different protocols, Ethereum's. Let's see here, Polygon, Avalanche, Phantom. The Gravity bridge, that's ETH, Kujira, and different ones as well. So very, very positive. Now, let's take a look at the Kujira dashboard. Here, it just talks about the fully diluted value there. Liquid supply, 42.1 million. Staked Kuji is 64.1 million. That's very good. Look at the block time, inflation. I'm gonna highlight that. Inflation, zero. That's what I like to see, 0. USK price, supposed to be pegged to $1, but you see that number there. So total supply kind of breaks everything down for you. You see that teal, I guess that color would be, is staked. So over half of the total supply is staked. So you do the math, guys. Half is staked, and there's not inflation. If the project keeps going up and people need Kuji for liquidity, what do you think is going to happen to the price? It's going to be nice. Going to be nice. And then here you see the total USK supply basically breaks down the different projects and the wrap tokens that USK is integrated with. So love to see it. And here are just some validators as far as the staking goes, where you can stake it. And here, let's take a look at the wallets. So obviously, if it's on the Cosmos ecosystem, you have the Leap wallet, Kepler wallet is probably the most famous ones. And then you can stake right there onto the website. So here you go into stake. You can choose where you want to stake it, and voila, there you go. Just connect your wallet and you should be good to go. So we talked about Orca, we talked about Fin. So Orca, this is right on their website. Orca liquidate multiple assets across the whole world of Cosmos with just a clickable button. So here, if you click on bid, you see here, you can bid on your collateral. Very easy. You click on get started here. Let's see what you get. All the markets. You know, if you know what you're doing, it's pretty simple to use actually. This regular markets is separated for bot markets as well. It's pretty cool. Right now it's loading, but let me go back here. You connect your wallet and conduct your activity that way. So that is Orca. Now let's take a look at the total number of wallets here, about 94,000 wallets. I tried to find the breakdown of whale wallets and everything like that. I didn't find it, but I imagine with the low inflation, it's still good. I don't think they could really dump on the market like that when everything's pretty much out there. So that is good. So in closing, let's take a look. This is from Captain Altcoin. He had this article he published a day ago, and it says the 5 things that make Kujira promising and makes him bullish on the project itself. He said, number 1, building a DeFi hub on Cosmos by creating its own sovereign layer 1 blockchain tailored for DeFi. That avoids the limitations of developing on congested chains like ETH. Its fast and predictable transactions coupled with purpose-built functionality should attract promising DeFi protocols. Again, you want to get on a project with promise before everyone gets in and realizes you're already on the ship. By the time it takes off, hey, you're already golden, right? Strong incentives for long-term holders. The Kujira tokenomics includes staking rewards, protocol fee distribution, and tiered benefits for larger holders. With much of the initial supply vesting over the next year, selling pressure may remain low as well. Number 3, key products gaining traction, decentralized exchange. Fin, liquidity bootstrapping platform Bo, and the algorithmic liquidation engine Orca are live. These core offerings aim to provide a unified DeFi experience and accrue value for Kujira stakers. Number 4, cross-chain expansion. So Kujira already allows swapping between Kujira and major L1 assets like Atom and Dot. The roadmap suggests even more blockchain integrations are in the works, drastically improving accessibility and interoperability. Number 5, future launchpad potential innovations like the Kujira wallet, that'd be nice, and upcoming launchpad Atlo could eventually make the blockchain a go-to hub for launching new DeFi apps with seamless user access. So in summary, Kujira's impressive scope as a one-stop DeFi destination combined with Kujira's compelling incentives could drive immense value accrual if execution continues. For speculative crypto investors like you and myself, keeping an eye on this diamond in the rough now could pay off in spades later. So this project right now is not listed on your Coinbase, your Gemini, your major exchanges. However, you can definitely go into a DEX and get some if you're interested in Kujira. I will say this Cosmos ecosystem, they have some things going for it. You already know if you watch my channel, the projects that I'm into, but I'm very, very intrigued. C, I like a lot. Injective, I like a lot. And now this Kujira, I think I like this one a lot too. So I'm going to start accumulating small bags of, I already have C, of Kujira and Injective. But Kujira is something that I think has a lot of promise, and the tokenomics are second to none. I like that a lot. So guys, if you like the video, please hit that like button. And if you like Kujira, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Until later, hope you enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Thank you for spending time with me. Later.